Dear friends, welcome to Carmel Radiance, a YouTube channel that disseminates Carmelite spirituality. We have been dealing with the interior castle of Saint Teresa of Avila. We have completed 15 episodes and this one is the 16th. Apart from reflecting on Carmelite classics, we also continue to spread the gospel message through daily gospel glow and Sunday reflections on the readings. Today we deal with the fifth mansion of the interior castle. We completed the fourth mansion in the last episode. At the very outset, I want to affirm that we are all called to prayer and contemplation. That is what Saint Teresa of Avila says, Interior Castle, Mansion 5, Chapter 1, Paragraph 2. This call is not exclusively limited to contemplative orders or religious congregations. Rather, it is a universal call to holiness. The purpose of this call is to enjoy heaven here on earth. Interior Castle, Mansion 5, Chapter 1, Paragraph 2. Teresa affirms that this heavenly treasure lies deep within our soul. From first mansions to fourth mansions, we considered the soul's dynamic entry from outside of interior castle towards the inner core where God dwells. In other words, it is an entry from the outside of interior castle towards the inside of it. Surprisingly, from this mansion onwards, the fifth mansion onwards, Teresa shifts her focus of the journey not as the soul entering within itself, rather God entering the soul. This shift in the dynamism is mainly because of the limitations of the use of words to explain what really happens in the depth of the soul when interaction between God and soul takes place. Teresa writes, quote, "O sisters, how can I explain the riches and treasures and delights found in the fifth dwelling places? I believe it would be better not to say anything about these remaining rooms, for there is no way of knowing how to speak of them." Close quote, Interior Castle, Fifth Mansion, Chapter 1, Paragraph 1. Dear friends, we need to understand it. Whatever Saint Teresa says through her own writings, we will discover what it means. Teresa begins with some comments on the great spiritual delights to be found in the fifth mansion. She wonders if she should even attempt to describe them, since there is nothing in human experience with which to compare them. She asks the Lord for help in explaining these dwelling places to her sisters, for she believes that most of them will experience this spiritual state at some point in their lives. Having said this, she readily admits that some will get only to the door, while others will penetrate these rooms further and go deeper and deeper into a state of intimate union with God. Since reaching this spiritual state depends so much on the soul turning itself entirely over to God, Teresa advises her readers to pray for the necessary strength of soul that will make this happen. Comparisons and metaphors cannot reveal the real nature of the experiences the soul can undergo in this stage. That is what she says in Mansion 5, Chapter 1, Paragraph 1. Teresa is convinced that most of the souls could enter this stage of intense mystical experience provided they are strengthened by faith, hope, and love. These are the most important ingredients or virtues that help us go further deep into our interior castle, rather allowing God to enter us. Often those who experience this stage in their lives could confuse its effects with a sort of dreamy state, but Teresa immediately clarifies, saying that don't think this union is dreamy state like the one I mentioned before. I say dreamy state, quote unquote, because it only seems that the soul is asleep, for neither does it really think it is asleep, nor does it feel awake. It is a kind of very tough terminology to understand, which we find in paragraph 4 of chapter 1, mention 5. There is another interpretation to this state experience as an experience of intense love which intoxicates the soul. In loving, if it does love, it doesn't understand how or what it is loving or what it would want. In sum, it is like one who in every respect has died to the world so as to live more completely for God. It is paragraph 4 again of chapter 1, mention 5. Now you see, there is a kind of struggle there. In this experience of the soul with God, there is no disturbance from creatures nor from devil, as both creatures and devil do not in any way have minimum clue what's happening within the soul. Therefore, creatures and devil are left in an uncertain situation here, or in total suspense. That is paragraph 5. This is because the nature of union is quite different from the previous stages and quite superior to the joys and feelings of earthly things. Quote, she says, "This union is above all earthly joys, above all delights, above all consolations, and still more than that. It doesn't matter where those spiritual or earthly joys come from, for the feeling is very different, as you will have experienced." Unquote. Interior Castle, 5th mansion, 1st chapter, 6th paragraph. It was in God and God was in it. That is what Teresa says. Teresa compares the prayer of union in the 5th dwelling places with the prayer in the 4th dwelling places. In the 4th dwelling places, the soul experiences a state where it feels itself neither fully awake nor fully asleep. She calls this experience, as we have explained earlier, a dreamy state. In contrast, in the 5th dwelling place, 5th mansion, all the faculties are asleep, both to the things of the world and to the things of oneself. The soul is so completely absorbed by its experience of God that it seems to have died to the world to live more completely to God. She says, quote, "For during the time of this union, it neither sees nor hears nor understands, because the union is always short and seems to the soul even much shorter than it probably is. God so places himself in the interior of that soul that when it returns to itself, it can in no way doubt that it was in God and God was in it." Unquote. Paragraph 9 of 1st chapter, mention 5. How to explain this experience? Let us take some examples of saints. Dear friends, long ago, that was in 1994, I met Mother Teresa of Calcutta in Rome, and I was able to celebrate Mass along with other 2 friars to that community. And after the Mass, this little sister, Mother Teresa of Calcutta, came to the sacristy to meet us. It was an extraordinary experience. We could feel the vibration of sanctity and the humility, the simplicity and the goodness, the way she was talking, the way she was smiling, and the way she was putting across her message. She simply said, I have said it on several occasions, she simply said, "Fathers, what you need to do is one good deed a day, which multiplies into 365 good deeds in a year, and multiply 3 of you, 365, it becomes a huge contribution towards the goodness of the world." So we can just imagine how this saint today, Saint Teresa of Calcutta, experienced that tremendous power from God at every moment of her life. And then I remember in 1995, I was able to celebrate Mass with John Paul II, now Saint John Paul II. It was another awesome experience, marvelous experience. The presence of the person, I could feel the sanctity, the power of God in that person. His very touch, because as he was handing over to me a rosary, I could feel that electrifying sensation from Pope John Paul II. All this shows that these people were filled with God, were able to experience that tremendous power of God within. It is in some way they were forgetting themselves, and they were forgetting everything practically. Their personal touch with us in that moment was a touch of God through these people. So that's what Saint Teresa of Avila would say, that we may not have that experience 24 hours a day, but the moment we are there experiencing it. We may not be able to explain it to others, but through our life, through our deeds, through our actions, through our observations, or through our contact with people, we will certainly feel that we are moved from within by God Himself to do His work here on earth. Therefore, dear friends, this 16th episode of Interior Castle can give us an understanding of how when we surrender ourselves to God and experience that contemplative power within us, we are going to be different people. We are going to be people with the power of God, with the sensation of that temple of God being in us, and we will have that tremendous experience of the power of God dwelling within us. May God help us. God bless you.